Welcome, my friends, to Pop Culture Fridays. I am Troy, coming to you every Friday-ish, every week. This week, I'm talking about what are some of the big, interesting technologies to hit in 2022. What do we think are going to be the big things? I'm just going to go over maybe the top 4 or 5, to me anyway, and they by no means cover the gambit, if you will. I don't know what a gambit is, but it doesn't cover that. Number 1, there's an app called Verb, which I have to check and see if it's already out, but it's apparently an app that allows you to publish posts to all social media using just your voice commands, including comments. This is huge. I think this is going to be huge. I've been using voice commands for a long time, trying to reduce my repetitive usage of my thumbs. This is probably how all of our hands should look right now. Thankfully, they don't. But the quicker we get through this awkward hunched over phone like apes, using apps, I think voice commands are the way to go. I already use Siri on my iPhone all the time. If I had an Alexa, I would use that too, but I've had voice recognition software and dictation software before. I think that's clear where it's going. We're not meant to hold these little square things. It's so dumb. It's not good for us. It's not good for our eyes, our hands, our backs, our necks. Let's get to the next stage. I think that'll be a big one. Verb. Number 2, metaverses. I don't really give a shit about this, but I think they'll probably be big, obviously. Not that I know, I'm just covering stuff that I research. All of this is, I think, lucid.com, by the way, is where I got this from. I'm still learning about metaverses, that people are buying property in them, but there's multiple ones. So it's not like if you bought a house in Texas, it would be the equivalent of you could buy another house in the equivalent of Texas, in the equivalent of a reality, but it's not a reality, it's a virtual reality, and that could go on and on forever. So like Snoop Dogg has something he owns in the Sandbox metaverse. I don't know if he started that or owns it, but you can buy a house in his neighborhood. People are literally paying $500,000 for these houses that are virtual. And that's just one verse. So he could start another metaverse and then do the same thing, but he's getting actual money. This is fucking crazy, man. Come on. I don't know if I'm missing out or if it's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. 3, I think this is also as big as the voice thing, satellite-based internet. Thank you, mobile. I know somebody who told me they went to Iceland and they had like a very expensive box, like an internet box. And while they were traveling around the country, it gave them internet connection wherever they were from, wherever they were at in the country. So it was and it must have been satellite based, but it was sort of like a mobile modem, if you will. And why haven't we been doing that all along? Maybe they've had the technology and they just needed to perfect it, or only the elite got access to it. Or if you're in Iceland, people got access to it. But I think that's going to be huge, changes the game. Same thing with phones. Why are we using phone companies? I don't know what Google Fi is. I've seen about 5,000 ads in the last 3 months for that. I don't know what it is, but that seems like it's the way it's going to, WhatsApp or Venmo for banking or making transactions. I mean, basically, if you are like an old school business, you're in trouble if you don't adapt, is basically what's happening. So the last thing I'll mention is autonomous vehicles. I don't like this idea. Right now there are 1,400 self-driving cars on the road and 31 million cars that are a variety of automation on the roads right now. So they might have some features but not another. But at least 1,400. That seems like a low number, 1,400 of self-driving cars in the US right now. That's what we know about. Because what if you're fully automated, you buy a car like a Tesla, and you flip it on? Does that count? How do you know? What if somebody buys it and they never use it? Is it still getting counted? So maybe we don't know. I would say it's more than 1,400, but my biggest problem with self-driving cars is, we didn't agree to this. I'm driving down the road next to a self-driving car. There's going to be a lot of deaths. Now, will we get to a spot where I think it's better, where people are making cappuccinos? They're selling, I think it was Tesla or somebody was selling a car without a steering wheel. I mean, do you want to be that all in 1940s plane technology, before de-icing or whatever else, lug nuts in the in the back compartment. Put your lug nuts in the back compartment. Took them a while to figure that one out. But, I've always said I don't want to fly in a plane in the 1970s. I mean, they had, from crashes, there was benefit to all of humanity because we learned what to do or what not to do. And it's going to be the same thing with self-driving cars. There's going to be horrible tragedies, families killed, car pileups. But I don't want to say that it's for the better of humanity, because I don't even know if I want this thing. It just is going to make me want to go on the old interstate roads. I don't even want to go on the highways. If like we get to the point where 1 out of 3 cars on the road has nobody, it's just going down the road, or you go in there and some dickhead's making fucking cappuccinos in the back seat while he's reading, looking at his phone, posting on Instagram. Putting my life at risk, whereas before I had to get on a plane to take that risk. I knew that I wasn't aware that of the technology that we didn't have that made it more safe or safer. But in this case, it's almost like a form of, I don't want to say drunk driving, but it's a question mark driving down the road, which is exactly what drunk driving is. So there are other things that I'm not going to mention, like 5G or the blockchain, which I think is big. I'm trying to get into that stuff now with blockchain and crypto. I'm not sure. It's a little too volatile for me. I'm more of a talk about mutual fund investments but never do it kind of person. But this is 2022 has got to be the year of investment. Let's make that pact right now. I want to hear in the comments below. What are you going to do? What are the things that you're going to do? Have you written them out? I have a 4-point plan for myself. I don't know if I'm going to share it or not. Maybe. I don't want to be a hypocrite here. Share it if you want to share it, and don't if you don't. But I would be interested to know what you've got planned for 2022. And if there are other tech things that you found. I did find this one thing that was kind of interesting. It was like a ring, like the Apple Wallet kind of thing, but it's like a ring. So you just go like this, like fist bump the pay thing, which is kind of it's stupid. But that's not really like a life-changing technology like the Metaverse. I'd say the Metaverse is more like 5G or autonomous vehicles, but the ring is just kind of a cutesy thing. That's it for this week. Thank you for watching Pop Culture Fridays. I'll see you every week on Friday-ish. Thanks for watching. Patreon.com/ArtHouse43 if you want to support the show. Subscribe, that helps. Comments, likes, all of it, man. I'm just a person who's existing in the universe for a very short amount of time, trying to make their life better. And I hope that you're able to do that this year. And I hope that we all are as happy as we can be. Till next week.